MMA Boxing Talk here, coming at you with another video. I want to put out a video talking about Joanna Jedrzejczyk and Claudia Gadelha. Now, they are scheduled to fight July 8th in a rematch. They fought originally in 2014, December 2014. And now there's going to be a rematch. Joanna Jedrzejczyk is now the champion. She's defended her title already twice since defeating Carla Esparza to win the strawweight title. Now, this is a fight, it's been made for a while. It's been official for a while. I'm very, very excited for July 8th. Joanna Jedrzejczyk versus Claudia Gadelha 2, the rematch. Now, their first fight was very, very close. It was a split decision. So, obviously, one of the judges felt that Claudia Gadelha did enough to win the fight. It was very close. Now, Joanna Jedrzejczyk, 28 years old. Claudia Gadelha is 27. Joanna Jedrzejczyk in MMA is 11-0. And Claudia Gadelha is 13-1. Claudia Gadelha made her MMA debut in June 2008. Joanna Jedrzejczyk, it wasn't until May of 2012. So Claudia had been fighting Claudia Gadelha had been fighting in MMA 4 years earlier than Joanna. So more MMA experience when they fought the first time. Now, when they fought the first time, Joanna had only been fighting in MMA for 2.5 years. Claudia had been a little over 4 years. Now, but we know Joanna Jedrzejczyk has an extensive Muay Thai background. When she made her MMA debut in 2012, it's not like that was her first fight of her career. You know what I mean? It was in MMA, but she had 70 Muay Thai fights before her MMA debut. So obviously Joanna Jedrzejczyk was very experienced in fighting in combat, having 70 Muay Thai fights before making her UFC or her MMA debut. Joanna Jedrzejczyk is a 6-time Thai boxing champion. Her pro record was 27-2, amateur record 37-3. Now, I also read that her amateur record 37-3 in Muay Thai. Joanna Jedrzejczyk losing 3 times as an amateur, but all coming to the hands of one woman, which I can't remember her name. I didn't write it down, but so Joanna Jedrzejczyk lost 3 times as an amateur, all to the same girl. And then turned pro, 27-2. Now, Joanna Jedrzejczyk is also one of 4 European champions in the UFC. The first European champion was Bas Rutten back in 1999. Andrei Arlovski became champ in 2014. And then Joanna Jedrzejczyk was the 3rd European champion in the UFC, and then followed by Conor McGregor. Now, when Joanna and Claudia had their first fight, they had each one UFC fight before they met in 2014. Joanna Jedrzejczyk, in my opinion, and it was pretty obvious. I just went back and watched both their UFC debuts and also Joanna Jedrzejczyk versus Claudia Gadelha, their first fight. I watched those 3 fights today. Joanna definitely had a better UFC debut, definitely more impressive against the girl in Juliana Lima, who's still fighting in the UFC today. Claudia Gadelha's UFC debut was against Tina Latamaki, who stopped fighting, who hasn't fought since 2014. Nothing against her, but obviously Joanna's debut was more impressive against a fighter that's still fighting. So better opponent, better performance. But then they met each other in 2014, December. It was a great fight. Amazing fight, split decision fight. I had Joanna winning. Very close, but I had her winning the fight. So I have some notes here from the fight. I want to go through them quickly. So the first round, the first minute of the first round was spent on the feet, pretty even. Claudia gets Joanna up against the cage and gets a takedown. And then Joanna gets back up. She stuffs 2 takedowns of her own, Joanna. So, and then with about 45 seconds left of round 1, Joanna now has Claudia up against the cage, lands a nice short elbow. They separate, and Joanna lands a nice steep to the stomach and finishes the round with a beautiful right uppercut, which lands flush and drops Claudia Gadelha. Claudia Gadelha was very, very buzzed from that uppercut. And she got dropped right away with maybe 15 seconds left in that round. So she was winning the round, and then Joanna really hurt her, scored a knockdown, and she won that round in the end. Claudia Gadelha goes back to the corner, very, very tired, very buzzed. She was hurt for sure. Round 2. Claudia starts the round, still hurt from that first round, getting knocked down. But she still manages to score a takedown at the beginning of round 2 against Joanna. Then Joanna gets back to her feet, stuffs the takedown herself. Then they separate. Joanna, after they separate, Joanna lands a nice punch to the liver, lands a couple combos, lands another shot to the body. Claudia scores a takedown with 1 minute left. Joanna gets back to her feet with about 10 seconds left in the round. So at this point, Claudia was winning round 1, but with the knockdown and her, really being hurt at the end of that round, I got to give it to Joanna. The second round was also close. Claudia scored a takedown. Joanna stuffed 2, but Joanna, she won that round with her striking ability. It was a close round, though. But at this point, it's very close, but I have Joanna winning 2 rounds to nothing. Obviously the knockdown at the end of round 1 was very, very pivotal in this fight. Now to start round 3, Claudia very tired. Joanna not breathing as heavy between rounds. Just to start the round 3, the final round, there's an accidental headbutt. Claudia is the one moving forward, and she basically, it was basically her fault with the head collision, but totally accidental. She gets a cut open above one of her eyes. The doctor checks it, not too bad. They continue fighting. Claudia lands a takedown, followed by another takedown. Claudia lands 2-3 punches when she has Joanna against the cage. Claudia gets a third takedown in that round, and has Joanna on the ground for a while, for a bit anyway, a good minute and a half at least. With 50 seconds left, Joanna now has Claudia on the cage, lands a short right, followed by a nice left elbow. They separate. Joanna immediately lands a combo, and lands an overhand right, and also followed by an uppercut to end the third round. Now, the third round was very close. I could give it to Claudia, but I really have it 2-1 Joanna. But I definitely understand, why it was a split decision, for sure. It was a very close fight. Now, at the end of the fight, the final bell goes, and Claudia, after the final bell, Claudia proceeds to land a body kick to Joanna Jedrzejczyk. The ref steps in, is in between them, and then Claudia lands a right hand to the face of Joanna after the bell. So, the bell goes, Claudia's pissed. She probably realized she lost. She's hurt. She's hurting. She's tired. She lands a kick after the bell to the midsection of Joanna, and then followed by a right hand to the face of all the refs in between. You know, definitely a classless act by Claudia Gadelha, but it is what it is. Now, you know, this fight is huge. They already filmed The Ultimate Fighter season 23, where Claudia and Joanna were both coaches. That just happened a few months back. It'll be airing soon before their July 8th fight. A lot of bad blood between these two. Now, I don't want to put out a prediction video yet. I want to go back and watch Claudia Gadelha's fight after this fight I was just talking about. Claudia Gadelha's had one fight since Joanna Jedrzejczyk. Joanna Jedrzejczyk's had 3 fights since Claudia Gadelha. So I'm going to go back and watch those 4 fights. And then I'm going to put out a video possibly tomorrow or in a day or in 2 days or whatever, breaking down those fights and giving a final prediction on Claudia Gadelha versus Joanna Jedrzejczyk, the rematch at UFC Ultimate Fighter 23 finale, July 8th, the day before UFC 200. I can't wait. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know, how you saw that fight, if anyone had it for Claudia, or if you had it for Joanna, like 2 of the 3 judges did. But that's it for this one. If you liked the video, subscribe. Check me out on Twitter at MMA Boxing Talk 1. I'm also on Instagram as well, MMA Boxing Talk. But that's it. So subscribe if you liked the video. Peace.